Hey guys, so you will not believe this. Amber Heard is actually gaining support. People have written an open letter showing their support for her. So let's take a look at it right now. Experts support Amber Heard. I wonder who these experts are. Amber Heard open letter. Someone actually bought this link, this domain for this, I assume. So the letter, an open letter in support of Amber Heard. 5 months ago, the verdict in the defamation trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard deeply concerned many professionals in the fields of intimate, partner, and sexual violence. As many, including A.O. Scott from New York Times, have noted, the vilification of Miss Heard and ongoing online harassment of her and those who have voiced support for her have been unprecedented in both vitriol and scale. Much of this harassment has fueled by disinformation, misogyny, biphobia, and a monetized social media environment where women's allegations of domestic violence and sexual assault were mocked for entertainment. Wow, first of all, that's a mouthful of words. Fueled by disinformation. Do you think there's been any disinformation? Do you think that throughout the whole trial, do you think there was any disinformation, anything that was not true that was said, except by maybe Amber Heard? Monetized social media environment. That's interesting to put that in there. So it might be making a whole bunch of videos about it, how it was aired the entire time. Mocked for entertainment. I have not seen anyone mock domestic violence or sexual assault throughout all of this. So, haven't seen that. The same disinformation and victim blaming tropes are now being used against others who have alleged abuse. In our opinion, the Depp v. Heard verdict and continued discourse around it indicate a fundamental misunderstanding of intimate, partner, and sexual violence and how survivors respond to it. The damaging consequences of the spread of this information are incalculable. So again, they're talking about the spread of disinformation and the many consequences that have come from it. A lot of people have mentioned in the comments that she was put on a trial. Everything was aired out. All the laundry was aired out in the open. And so everyone got to make up their own minds. So I don't know what disinformation they're talking about. We have grave concerns about the rising misuse of defamation suits to threaten and silence survivors. So that is one interesting thing that they say is if someone was to allege that another has sexually assaulted them, they could, in theory, sue for defamation. But there's limits on that, and one of them is in the scene of actually committing a crime. Now, as Amber Heard did it, she did it in a open news article that anyone could read. So she wasn't doing it in a police report or any form of criminal trial. She was just writing a news article about it. So that's not necessarily, I don't know how grave those concerns would be. I haven't seen any other lawsuits for something like this, but also not very many lawyers would take a defamation suit unless it would actually pay off. So you can either take it and get paid hourly, which a lot of people don't want to do for a defamation suit, or a lawyer can take it on a contingency fee. And if they do that, then it's totally up on the air on even if they get paid. And so first you have to win a trial and get a judgment against them. Then you have to collect it. And if there's no way to collect the judgment, then the lawyer did all that work for nothing. So that's the hard thing when you're looking for a lawyer to sue for defamation. So there's really not that many lawsuits alleging that would threaten and silence survivors. We condemn the public shaming of Amber Heard and join in support of her. We support the ability of all to report intimate, partner, and sexual violence free of harassment and intimidation. Now, it's fine to report it, but based on what I've seen, she was honestly abusing him. That's what it seems like. So it's interesting that they have put out a letter, an open letter to support Amber Heard. So these are some of the organizations: Women's March, Cyber Civil Rights Initiative. I'm seeing if I have recognized any of these. Equal Rights Advocates. I don't think I've heard of them. Have you heard any of these? Let me know in the comments. And I guess there's even more, just without logos and individuals. So, professor from the University of Arkansas, executive director at some place, RMT, trauma informed psychotherapist in private practice, independent scholar complaint, a law school, Brunel University, London, professor of sociology, professor of psychology. So, founder Military Rape Crisis Center, that was back up here. So it's kind of like double dipping, if you ask me. I mean, I don't even recognize any of these names. But she identifies, or whoever Twist is a feminist. I guess that's her title, instead of some type of position. The list is pretty long. Maybe all titles and institutions provided for identification purposes only for all signatories. Interesting. I guess you can sign the letter right here. If you are an expert or organization working against domestic or sexual abuse or online harassment and would like to add your name and or organization to our growing list, please contact us. So, very interesting. But let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think this letter does? Do you think more people will get behind Amber Heard and support her? Or do you think this just looks like a sham? And why do you think these people are stepping out in support of her? Let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll have to see if there's anything else with this open letter.